Good afternoon. Welcome to Channel 44. I am Mercy Gashegu Sembatia to bring you this afternoon's news, business news segment. We'll start with what's happening around us. Pastor, I apologize. I am joined by Livingstone Kawesi for sign language interpretation and translation. Well, we'll start with what's happening around us. Pastor Robert Kayanja has cleared the air concerning accusations falsely made by the National Drug Authority that he is selling contaminated veterinary drugs to people. Well, he was speaking at a press conference and addressing the media, and he said that he has no intentions to harm Ugandans or any animals in Uganda.
But today I wanted to assure Ugandans, number one, we are not criminals. We have never done anything or given anything to kill people. Number three, we have a track record on many things we've done in this country. Number three, take off. We've never sold it to anyone. It wasn't to fleece Ugandans or even take money from poor farmers. I'm in Uganda, and I've been a farmer for now several years, and we've lost a lot of animals to ticks. According to National Drug Authority officials, Dr. Jane told me that Uganda loses 30% of our calves to tick-borne diseases. That is alarming. In the next 10 years, if we go on this trend, we'll have no cows. The problem of ticks is not a one person's problem to solve. It is a national and now a regional problem. 31st, people ask, we prayed for COVID, it went. We pray for this. This year, pray for ticks, because these ticks are like demons, they don't go. We've tried everything, it does not go, and this is what is happening in the country. So I say, why should I pray on something that I have something in my house that is working, seemingly to be working? Why don't I share it with my neighbor for free? So I ask the people, whoever wants can come and pick up a sample, go use it, and give us the data whether it's working or not. The result was amazing. People were coming. We are on record. I said, we have something organic. It is for free. Come pick a sample, use it, but bring us the data so that we can see what's happening. Because ticks are different. They are dog ticks, these are mbarabara, ticks are different. So it may work on one and then another one. So, and the people begin to bring great reports. And I think even National Drug Authority was told about it. I want to encourage every innovator in this country. Drugs, TVs, radios, everything we use today, someone had to really go at work and develop something. I cannot guarantee that you will not be smeared, attacked, abused, called on everything. But if you give up, where will we be? I believe the problems of Africa are going to be solved by some Africans. And we need serious people to really do so.
Well, later on we'll be bringing you different testimonies we've gotten from different farmers who have been helped by the tick-off drug that has helped them keep their animals alive. So stay tuned to Channel 44. Moving on in today's business news, in a bid to address the challenge of unemployment in Uganda among the youth, the government has come up with a program of skilling the girl child under the presidential initiative as one of the punitive measures of addressing the challenge of unemployment and poverty. Youth make the biggest population of the country, with about 75% below the age of 35 years. Speaking about the program of skilling youth, the Minister for State The Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, says that the program of skilling youth plays a pivotal role in addressing the poverty issue in the country, since youth acquire the hands-on skills that help them make their own products and earn a living. He added that government has plans of employing youth with funds to invest in their business ventures and move on with life.
Both girls and boys, I think the president is doing wonderful work. This presidential initiative or industrial hubs is doing wonders in our areas. For instance, Kasese is a zone. Kasese district alone is a zone. And on 10th, we graduated 198 boys and girls in the fields of carpentry, tailoring, masonry, and welding. And it was really very wonderful. These are non-formal skills. Children who graduated range from those who have never gone to school to those who have gone to school up to senior 6. So it is just a mixture of a blend of many youth. But what was also interesting is that the youth were also taken through ideological orientation, or what these days we call mindset change. So UPDF was also there to take them through that ideological orientation. The political commissars were there. So it was a very, very wonderful and exciting moment for both the youth and the parents. And this training was done free of charge, free of cost from the student. Government sponsored everything. And for 6 months, each student, government spent 4 million on each student. So it was really a wonderful, wonderful course. We have so many programs of the youth. I think we shall just enhance them and see that we assist those youths who have just graduated to access funding for toolkits so that they start working.
And in neighboring Kenya, prolonged dry spells have and long intense rainy periods produced a glut of bananas that have forced many farmers to lower their prices. Well, now these have resulted to fish farming with a fish pond that is filled with more than 1,500 tilapia can allow farmers to harvest rainwater during heavy rains and use some of it to irrigate their crops when the dry spell hits. As the East African country of Kenya grapples with climate swings that batter crops and choke incomes, including a current drought that is the worst in 4 decades, some farmers are discovering that adding fish to their farms can help with water storage, make their diets more nutritious, and boost their earning. Since 2019, the Kirinyaga County government has been helping farmers build fish ponds under an economic stimulus program. The county covers the cost of a pond liner and for the first year pays for baby fish, also called fingerlings, and enough food to sustain them until they mature. We'll now take a look at today's fuel prices at different fuel pumps. So we'll return with international business news. Stay with us. In our international business news, the United Kingdom narrowly avoided falling into recession in 2022. That have been released after the economy saw zero growth between October and December. This is despite a sharp 0.5% fall in economic output during December, partly due to strike action, according to the Office of the National Statistics. Chancellor Jeremy Hunt said figures showed underlying resilience, but said they are not out of the woods. The Bank of England still expects the UK to enter recession this year, but it thinks it will be shorter and less severe than the previous forecast. The Bank of England is UK's central bank. The view, as it has a central role in managing the overall state of the economy. One of the ways it does that is by changing interest rates. Recently, it has been raising rates in a bid to tackle the soaring cost of living. When global leaders gathered at the annual World Economic Forum conclave in Davos last month, they were looking at a bleak economic scenario. Two-thirds of the economists polled by the WEF for its chief economist outlook report said a global recession, a shrinking of the world's gross domestic product, was likely in 2023. Also, last month, which was January, the World Bank warned the global economy was perilously close to falling into recession. Since then, the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, in its end January assessment, has presented a less pessimistic forecast, suggesting that the global economy might avoid contraction this year. Still, the IMF has predicted that the United Kingdom's economy will shrink and has cautioned that the United States has only a narrow path to escaping a recession. The IMF, World Bank, and many other experts have pointed to one key factor pushing the economy towards a recession, which is the sharp interest rate hikes by central banks in recent months to tame soaring inflation. So the world needs to choose between spiraling prices and a recession, whose threat itself sparked major layoffs, with more than 100,000 tech workers fired just in January. Moving on, the PCS union experts, 1,000 members at the ports of Calais, Dalkeith and Dover, and the Corkeries Channel Tunnel Terminal walk out between Friday the 17th of February and Monday the 10th of February. Is a part of their ongoing pay dispute, and this is a planned strike action by the Border Force staff. The government said getting through passport control could take longer. Under the juxtaposed control system, UK officers check inbound passengers and freight in France and Belgium before they begin their journey. Sales of second-hand cars fell sharply last year as fewer used models came onto the market, according to industry figures. A shortage of parts driven by COVID meant fewer new cars were produced, and people hung on to their cars longer as they waited to upgrade. Some 6.9 million used cars changed hands, down from 7.5 million in 2021, according to the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders. However, it said the situation was starting to ease. The SMMT also said sales of second-hand electric vehicles had backed the trend. Well, we'll now look at today's foreign exchange rate. Stay tuned to Channel 44. Know how the dollar is performing against major world currencies. We'll return with more international business news. Stay tuned to Channel 44. In our international news, still, the United States Best Stock Index Compliance, MSCI, it says it will cut the weightings of 4 Adani Group companies, including its flagship firm Adani Enterprises, in its indexes after reassessing the number of shares freely traded. The move comes in the wake of a January 24th report by the U.S. short seller Hindenburg Research, which accused the Indian conglomerate of improper use of offshore tax havens and stock manipulation. The group has denied any wrongdoing. The Hindenburg report has plunged the group, led by billionaire Gautam Adani, into crisis, wiping some $110 billion off the value of its main 7 listed firms. In addition to Adani Enterprises, the group's coal miner Carmen Chubeta for new projects, MSCI also plans to cut the weightings of Adani Total Gas, a venture with France's Total Energies, and Adani Transmission, a power transmission company. It will also reduce the weighting of SCC, a leading Indian cement company the Adani Group acquired from Holcim last year, and which is not one of the group's main 7 listed firms. Adani Group did not immediately respond to a request for comment, and the 4 companies had a combined 0.4% weighting in the MSCI Emerging Markets Index as of January the 30th. The changes will come into effect on March the 1st. Yahoo plans to lay off more than 20% of its total 8,600 workforce as a part of a major restructuring. The veteran tech company is reorganizing its advertising unit, which will lose more than half of the department by the end of year. Nearly 1,000 employees will be affected by the cuts by the end of week. Yahoo is the latest tech firm to announce job losses as firms struggle with a downturn in demand, high inflation, and rising rates. Netflix is introducing limits on password sharing in 4 more countries, that is Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain. Customers in those countries are being asked to pay an extra fee if they want friends and family who don't live with them to share their subscription. The move follows a crackdown on sharing passwords in South America and will roll out into the UK by end of March. Netflix estimates 100 million people around the world use shared contacts. The hit to revenues from the shared accounts was affecting Netflix's ability to invest in new programming content, according to the firm. It has said it is planning to extend the new approach to more countries in coming months. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's business news. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you, we are helping the people of Karamoja. We are doing Karamoja again. Join us by sending your seed or contribution to the numbers that will be available during the services, or you can come to the Miracle Center Cathedral and sow your seed. You'll be tremendously blessed. Otherwise, the Big Tunes program is coming up next. Stay tuned to Channel 44, and remember to come for the miracle overnight. Bring the sick, bring the lame, bring all those that need a hand of God. Lately, we've been having encounters with the Holy Spirit here at the Miracle Center Cathedral. There has been dream interpretation, there has been deliverance sessions, and tonight everything is coming, what we know and more, in the miracle overnight. Come and join us. Come, bring a friend, and tell a friend to come and enjoy the presence of God and have divine encounters here in the overnight service. Enjoy your evening. God bless you.